Hey, hi, hello, it's Tiani Janae. Welcome to the ARCHIVALIVE YouTube channel. For the Record is an oral history interview series aimed to document, honor, and preserve the professional and personal experiences of unsung artists with veteran insight while they're still here and living. Our first guest of the series is Beau the Button Man Mccall. I want you to talk a little bit about the inspiration and a little bit about the process of the formation of the book.
Okay, Nick Klein over at Rutgers. I can remember everything, but when it's time for me to remember stuff, I forget. But it's Nick Klein, um, Jersey. I forget the name of the publishing house. They're gonna kill me. But anyway, had a conversation with Nick.
Shine Portrait Studio.
Shine Portrait Studios. There you go.
I got
you. In Newark.
And that's a full circle moment because your entry to New York was from Newark, like through.
Oh yeah, I thought that. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So we had a conversation, and he presented this project, and when we had a conversation, I listened to it, and then I sat with it for a while, and I came home and I sat with it, and I was like, oh, I know exactly what I want to do. And I went under my bed and I got that bag of pictures out, and I said, I think I'm going to use. I told Solia I'm going to use these pictures for the book, and I'm going to honor and dedicate this book to my friends. So I went through all through the pictures because early on, as I was losing them, I would revisit that book often and just like get emotional and go through the pages and tuck it away. Somebody else, I would lose somebody else, and I would just repeat the cycle, repeat the cycle, repeat the cycle. And that's where memories on repeat, repeat. And I knew I wanted to use my signature buttons, but I was like, well, how can I do the button without using the buttons? So I said, well, I'm going to do some collages. So this is actually my first serious attempt to do collages as a presentation in my art. I've done them before, but nothing to present publicly, right? So I chose all the photographs, and it was just the majority of the photos were of them. It's a lot of other folks that's in the book, but I think with those particular guys, it was more passion in our relationships. We were all our whole selves, our true selves, our entire selves with each other, right? Mm-hmm. So even if we were 10% in our relationship, we couldn't stand each other, we still was the 100% who we were as people. Mm-hmm. And vice versa. If we was 100% into the relationship and we were having a good time, we all knew each other's strengths, each other's weaknesses, and we all ultimately had each other's back. And for me, I always say that relationships, whether they're platonic or romantic, relationships are about how people make you feel.
Yeah.
And they made me feel damn good. We had a lot of good laughs. We had a lot of good cries. We went through, all the things that the biological family would go through. Mm-hmm. So they were my chosen family. And I think, I know that I chose the right people to be a part of my life. Because as I said earlier, I'm still living with on a daily basis. Like not a day goes by that at least one of them pop up in my head. And, a story will come by, or even with the Dionne Warwick exhibition, Joey, aka Erica Worrell. He
Mm-hmm.
was a Dionne Ward fanatic. This is the one I told you. He only played Dionne in his apartment, and the only other person that could play was Whitney. And you would go over there, and he would just do all his Dionne shit. And it's a certain way that Dionne holds her microphone. Like if he was have a drink or something, he would hold his hand, have his fingers up, and all this kind of stuff. Oh, go sit your ass down. But he loved Miss Warwick. Okay, so I know he would be so proud right now that I did all this work in her honor.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so when the project started, Tracy passed the day before we got started.
Oh.
Right. So, it was just another little emotional setback. So, I went through I went through an emotional low that day that it happened. And then I had to prepare myself to get ready to go and sit down and have a meeting to talk about the direction in which I wanted to go with the book. So, I mentally had to get myself together. So I got myself together. I got my bearings together, and I was like, you got to do this, and let's get the show on the road. And I started selecting pictures. I started, photographing. Well, actually, I do that anyway. I photograph close-up shots of all my pieces for reference pieces. So then I was able to use them in the collages as background and different beliefs to create these images that I was trying to create. And I forget who I did first, but after I saw the first one, I was like, okay, it's on and popping. I'm ready to go. And I just, was full steam ahead. I enjoyed each and every one of them. Some of them I like more than others. I have my favorites. But emotionally, it was like a roller coaster to get through. I think I did 50.
Wow.
It was just my emotions was all over the place. All over the place. And then, as, I'm piecing it together and compiling all these different images and stuff, it's not right until your eye say, this is it, it's final. So, a lot of trial and error, a couple days, and sometimes it'll be maybe an hour or whatever. And I'm like, this is it. And then you go to the next one. But I thoroughly enjoyed the whole process. I thoroughly enjoyed each and every one. And then, at the same time, all the stories was in my head. Sometimes I'll be laughing, and the other times I'll be crying, and then the other times I'll be cursing them out, and just all kind of stuff will be going through my head.
Going through the motions.
Yeah, but I got through it. And it took a whole entire year. So, I finally understand, when people are writing books, people writing scripts, even when people doing an album, that the process that you go through to put all the pieces together to make this puzzle. Yeah, so I enjoyed it.
And I enjoyed viewing it. I'm so happy that I was able to get a copy because I know it was limited too, but I was like, I need this. Especially because I have my triple T-shirt too. So just gotta round out the Beau Mccall collection.
So yeah, like I said, and then actually, this was the first piece that I did dedicated to them. I think this is on the first page.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I did this exhibition with all the works are postcard size. So I made a little postcard, that's my little stamp right here, the little heart. And then I had all their names on here. The only person's name that's not on here is Tracy, because she was still alive when I did this.
Uh-huh.
And then that quote that I was telling you about that Trey used to say, because this Trey and Tracy, Trey used to always say, shout out to my dead girlfriends. So I put that on the back. And Solio was like, oh, you should name your book that. I was like, I don't think so. Because I used to say to Trey, you should stop saying that. I said, because they're going to send for you. And you're like, shout out to my dear girlfriends. We'd be in here laughing. We'd be drunk as a skunk. And he'd say, shout out to my dear girlfriends. I said, you shouldn't say that. They're going to send for you. And he did.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
So let's get into some of the pictures from the book to really put into perspective your memories.
Okay.
Okay.
And Trey had no style whatsoever.
Aw.
In this picture, he looks very stylish.
The shape.
But on his own, that bitch ain't have an ounce of style. Like,
oh my God.
I remember he came over and we were going to the parade, right? And I'm big on shoes. I love shoes. So I said, well, I got to get me a new pair of shoes. So I took him to Tootsie Plowhound. That was one of the hot stores at the time. They had like a lot of unique men's shoes, right? So we go in the store, and he's really not a shopper. And I don't like shopping with people, and you just follow me, pace, foot, you follow me. Like, look around.
Right.
Experience the shopping experience, right? So he just he just sat there, and they used to always say to me, you gonna spend that much money on shoes? You gonna spend that much money on this? You gonna spend that much money on it? I'm like, ain't nobody gonna give it to me. This is what I want. I'm buying what I want. Okay. Now, if you want to go out, he loved music. We would go CD shopping, and he might spend $200-300. My CD budget was maybe $50. Okay. Right. Wow. My money went into clothes. So he went in the store, and he was very, very uncomfortable in the store, right? And as a kid growing up, like when I was a teenager, I used to buy a lot of imported magazines. So I wanted to see these things. I saw them in magazines. I didn't have to buy them. I just wanted to see them. I wanted to touch them. I wanted to look inside and see how they were constructed. So my mom used to tell me, when I wanted to go to all these little ritzy stores and stuff, she said, you can go any place you want to go. You don't have to buy nothing. Just go in and just browse around. They ask you, what do you want? You say, I'm just looking, I'm just browsing. Or, not this week, or, no, it's not my budget. You just have to make small talk. So I was never intimidated by that. And he just seemed like he was a fish out of water. Like, oh my God, like, why did you bring me in here? So then he won this case one time, and he got all this money. He never told me how much money he got, but he bought the jacket, and then I went shoe shopping with him. And he took me to some little place that I would never shop in. And I think he bought like 10 pair of shoes. I like none of them. They were nice for him, but not for me. Because I'm just being real. All the money that he spent on them 10 pair of shoes, I probably would have bought 3 pair of shoes with the same amount of money. Now, I know what I like, and I know what it costs to have what I like. And I'm not saying that I'm very thrifty. I'm very sale conscious. I know what time of the season to buy certain things. I go to sample sales. I know how to make my money stretch and get things that in a normal season, I can't afford that stuff. So I'll wait it out, and I may get something that I don't like. But I know it's quality, and it's a good piece, and it's going to last me forever.
Exactly.
What people don't understand is just because you pay, I remember one time for me, the going rate, this is years ago, for a good pair of shoes was $200, right? So, you know, if the buckle came off or something, they were like, you spent $200 on them shoes and the buckle came off. I said, the only difference between my shoes and your shoes is it is better quality. They made with better materials. That's not to say that they're not going to malfunction like any other shoe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You're still walking on them.
Right. Uh-huh.
Whatever. But Trey was hilarious. He used to call himself Licky Yella Muñeca. And I remember he called me collect one time, and the operator, she didn't want to say Licky Yella. She said lick. I saw you mean Licky Yella. She said, oh yeah, that's it.
Oh my God.
But he was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
You could just tell, like, he looks like he had a jovial spirit.
He did. And out of all of us, him and Antoine, they had a head full of their own hair, like just like lion's mane hair.
Mm.
I was like, oh damn, like really? But he was a lot of fun.
Okay. And I think there's another image. You had on a pair of shorts and then...
And he has the same ones on. Yeah. So what happened with those, I made the shorts for myself, right? And then he was chunky. He wasn't fat. He was just chunky. And then he was top heavy.
Mm-hmm.
It was real thick on top. But from the waist down, he had these little bird legs. Little small waist, and then he went on this diet, and he lost all this weight. Me and Joey, we were the ones who had the best legs out the bunch. I was the best. Joey was the runner-up. So when Trey lost all this weight, his legs turned into these little chicken legs, and we went to another parade. I was like, bitch, you know better than to wear a pair of shorts. And I'm on the scene with my shorts on. Like, you better get a pair of long pants or something. So by this time, he could wear the shorts. So he bought the shorts from me because he could wear them.
Oh, and he bought them.
Yes, he bought them. Yes, he was a big supporter of my work.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't ask for the homie hookup.
Say it again?
He didn't ask for the homie hookup.
Oh, no.
Wow.
No. He looked cute in the shorts. He just, them little pencil legs was not getting it. Then he had these shoes he had on had like these heels on them. The footwear was just different, but he did his thing just as well as I did my thing in the same pair of shorts. But I'm glad you noticed that.
Mm-hmm. I got the eye. Mm-hmm. All right. Shout out to Trey. And who is that?
Oh, this is one of my Tamika Bomb Setter nights. You couldn't tell me shit this night. This is me and Tracy. That's Tracy Monroe.
Mm-hmm.
This was on her off nights because I gave her a run for her money that night.
Y'all both are giving face. Like, you were ready, and then it looked like Tracy was in the back like, oh, wait, here I go.
Yeah. So now that jacket that I have on, it's a denim jacket. I still have that jacket.
Wow.
And this little dress was like a little t-shirt dress. The top part was like a black tank top, and then the bottom part was the stripes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I had one of my sister's pocketbooks. And this is the sleeve, how I told you I would cut the stockings up and make sleeves out of the stockings. And I had these little purple ankle strap like 4-inch heels on.
Ooh.
Oh, I used to love ankle straps. I just thought they made your legs look so sexy.
Mm-hmm.
And then
you have a bangle up here too.
Yeah, that's this paper mache bangle. And then we both had on the Andre Douglas wig,
mm-hmm.
the fantasy wig, and I was big on eyeliner. Like I was obsessed with a thick liner. So I saw a picture of Grace Jones in some of her early photos. She would elongate the corner of her eyes, the inside of her eyes, right?
Mhm.
And then I saw this picture of Donna Ross when she was with the Supremes, that she would take and elongate the outer side of her eye, that she would take the line and pull it away from her eye. So I used to make my eyes and pull them all the way back like Cleopatra.
Mm-hmm.
And it made my eye look very, very sensual. Mm. That face right there, that's one of my best faces.
Like,
that's
I'm
one
not
that's
gonna
one of my
lie.
that's one of my 2 hour faces.
Worth every minute. Like, that face is on. Look
Mm-hmm.
good. Skin is clear. What was your skin routine back then?
So like they didn't have all this stuff that they have now. So we would take it off with Pond's cream, right? Um I can't remember. The foundation was Flory Roberts, but then I found this other. It was a highlighter that was like a burnt orange, gold kind of color
Mm-hmm.
that I would highlight underneath my eyes and on the top of my cheek, and then the blush, the same thing. It will be Fashion Fair, and
Okay.
then this particular eye, it was this makeup store. I cannot forget the name of this store, but it was a little makeup counter in the mall in Philly, and they had this eyeshadow called Dior Purple, right? So it's like a purple iridescent, but you could put it over top of anything, and it would just make this luminous color out of it, right?
Ooh.
So right here, I have it over top of some blue eyeshadow.
Mm-hmm.
My eyes was smoking this particular night. So we're downtown hanging on the strip.
What year is this?
This is probably this is around 82. No, not yeah, around 82. Around 82. I was oh god, I was hot that night. Oh my god. Like this is not the particular night, but it was one night that I went out and I used to see this little young guy. Oh, we were probably around the same age. And he used to be on his way to work and he used to stop and we used to have conversation, we smoke a joint or whatever, and he would go on to work, right? So this one particular night, we went around the corner and we was talking, we smoked the joint, whatever, and he just started kissing all over, kissing all over me, right? And he made a mistake and started rubbing between my legs. Girl, he said, "You a dude?" He ran down the street. I mean, he literally, he ran down the street.
Oh my god.
I thought that shit was so funny.
No, like, I keep looking at your face, like the structure, like you did that. This is a look. That's why I was like, nah, we gotta discuss this because
Oh, that was a lot of contour, and I told you that how I learned to do my face. Essence used to have this little caption on one of the pages that said do's and don'ts, and they would have a picture of what you shouldn't do, how when you're applying your makeup, and what you should do. And I studied them shits forever. I will be up in my mother's house 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning in the bathroom trying out these different shades and trying to hold my hand steady to draw a straight line to get my eyeliner correct. And I figured out that if I used a black eye pencil, a soft pencil, and I drew my eyes in, right?
Mhm.
And then I would go over it with liquid eyeliner to seal it. So the way they do makeup now, I don't know how they do it because I put the foundation, the contour, and all that on first, and do my eyes last.
Mhm.
Now they doing their eyes first.
Yeah, no, I can't do that. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
No.
And then I like a full brow, but just a little bit off at the end. Like the eyebrows now, they too perfect.
Yeah, yeah. They literally like draw them. They
Yeah, it's too much. But yeah, this is one of my best faces.
Yes, did
And that's a punk night.
really? Okay.
Yeah,
So this is still Strange Beauties era?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, y'all look good.
Now right here with Tracy. Tracy, she's didn't want to wear heels no more. So she started wearing flat sandals and she wasn't doing her punk stuff no more. So that right there, she had like a wrap skirt on and
Hmm.
some kind of little button down top, which I detest the whole entire look. I would never wear that. Because at one time I wore, Antoine had this outfit, it was a modern outfit. It was purple, like a lilac color, these little pencil pants, and it was like a little ruffle top and a little ruffle off the shoulder sleeves. I look hideous in that outfit because I wasn't used to wearing new clothes. All my clothes are from the thrift shop.
Hmm.
So I never wore that stuff again.
Oh man, you
And
look.
then with this one, I chose the black buttons because I thought that our faces was powerful enough that I didn't need a whole bunch of distractions within the buttons.
And you know, the highlight from the buttons kind of like ties into the highlight of your face.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is some type of unity within it.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely, yeah.
Well, if Tracy wasn't my strange beauty sister, I would have cut her out of this.
I wouldn't blame you, to be honest. I would not, because, yeah, that was your moment. Okay. And then the next image, oh, she is taking long to load. Okay. So visit adult world. I remember hearing in the 70s and 80s like Times Square, Herald Square was nothing like how it is now.
No.
Um, Peep shows and
Mm-hmm.
all the adult stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that was
Mm-hmm.
what really ran that area. So, tell us a little bit about this image.
So this is adult world. I think this was called fantasy world. This is in Philly, right? That's Tony.
Oh, this is in Philly.
Yeah. So that's Tony, then Tracy and myself. We all worked in this adult bookstore right here, right?
Hmm.
Tone was in there first, and then he got us a job in there, right? I put the money buttons up there because there was a lot of prostitution was going on in there, a lot of a lot of drug deals going on down in the store. So we had all the shifts covered.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Tony had the daytime shift. Tracy had the middle shift, and I had the graveyard shift.
Mm.
And I think I told you this the last time that when supplies would come in, and supplies could be um, lube, dildos, all kind of sexual contraptions and oh
Favors.
god, they used to have this. I can't call the name of it, but they had this cream that you used to put on your body and that you blow on it and it got hot.
Mm. They still have like a gel kind of situation
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
that.
So it would be all kind of dildos, all sizes, and
Hmm.
blow up dolls. So when the stock would come in, the manager would be like right there document everything that come in. And the counter used to be up on this platform. And the platform had like a little opening on the front end of it. So when we would take the stuff out the box, if he turned his head or if he went outside to smoke, we would throw them under the counter, under this little space, right? And then later on, when he would leave, whoever's shift it was, if he was still there, we couldn't remove it. We would just alert the next one and say, "Oh, it's under the counter. You know, you got to get a stick and pull it out, and it's 3 dildos and a pack of this and a pack of that." And then, you know, we would sell it and pocket the money. Then we had it would be all types of people would come in there. Like my shift would be the party shift.
I'm sure midnight.
We had the boom box. Sometimes I bring my boom box in there. We blasting Blondie. Then Bianca, who's featured in there too. Bianca would, you know, run errands for me and go to the store and get stuff for me to eat. And you know, some of the prostitutes, they would bring the tricks in there and have them in the booth. And like they had the candy panties, the candy underwear, and then, you know, if a good-looking guy came in there and wanted to talk shit with us or whatever, and you know they messed around, I would give them a pair of the underwear, and they would try them on in the booth.
What?
Yeah,
wow.
Like I'd be sitting up on a platform, and then the booth will be lined up against the wall. So the first booth will be right in front of the register. So, you know, they would try them on, close the door, try them on, and come out and dance and everything, and going back in there, whatever. We had so much fun in there. And then I like to say I quit, but I'm fine. So one night, like when you would close, when I would close, you would have to check all the stalls to see, you know, that everybody was out of the stalls and sweep up, right? Mm-hmm. So I thought that I got everybody out, and, you know, I'll be like, it's 6 o'clock, you know, let's go, we're closing, da 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 da. You know, everybody would march out, fall out. Sometimes be like 10, 20, 30 people would come out of the store, right? What? And I locked the door, put the padlock on there, and I took the keys back to the front store because they had we were in the middle of the block, and then the main store was on the corner. So I took the keys to the corner, and I was coming back to go home. I walked by the store, and this Asian man, I had locked this Asian man in the store.
Oh my gosh.
So, you know, I had to call the manager and, you know, tell him about he had to come. He lived in Jersey, that he had to come back and, you know, unlock this man out the store.
Oh my God.
And you know,
where was he?
He let me go. I don't know where he was.
Like, why are you here? And did you not notice like shop was closing up?
Yep. So I had to stay there until till the boss man came. And then there used to be this other guy who worked there with us, Rick. Mm-hmm. Rick was older than us. And at the time I had like this little short blonde fro. And he used to get me to stand in the window with all these fluorescent lights so I could get guys to come in the store. And then he would talk to them. Oh,
wow. And with the blonde, yeah.
Yeah, he was like, go stand in the window. Go stand in the window. What? He said, just go stand in the window. And I go stand in the window, and, you know, all the lights will be reflecting on my hair, and here they come. And he said, okay, you can go now.
Just using you to attract men.
But it was a fun experience.
I can imagine, like, especially during that time too, because that was the era of sexual liberation.
Yes. Oh, we called it the Sexual Nation Tour.
Really?
Yes. Because next door was a strip club.
What? Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we were on the strip. Again, it was the same. It was like 42nd Street, but in Philly, it was 13th Street.
Okay. Wow. And I didn't.
It was a lot was going on.
I didn't even know that there was like that same
Well, every city has that. At one
Okay.
time, every city had it.
Mm.
Mhm.
Wow. Next photo. What is going on? Okay. Okay, yeah. I wanted to talk about this flyer. So now that we have the background on Moi Renee, tell us a little bit about this flyer. Also, is this hand drawn?
Yeah, I think somebody drew this. I don't know who did this, but this was a flyer from the club Midtown 43, and Renee was the host there. They would do drag shows. I remember one time um, they did a whole scene from Dreamgirls,
Ooh.
like the costumes. It was like it was a Broadway show. Like they were serious about this shit. They had everything that they had in the actual show. It was perfection. They had legitimate talent up in there, and he was the MC. And of course, like I say, like you saw, he would have all these outlandish outfits on, introducing these acts. Um, and they gave him a birthday party one year. They treated him like he was a true celebrity. I don't know whose apartment we went to in Midtown, but they gave him like 2 cases of liquor, top shelf liquor, to take to this party. Cases, not bottles, cases. And we drove to somebody's apartment in Midtown, and it was this party that went on all night in his honor. He was what I called a celebutant.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knew him. Everybody knew him. If you go on YouTube and look up Moi Renee, you'll see his song Miss Honey.
What? Okay, yeah, I'm definitely doing that.
Yeah, so Miss Honey is a cult classic. They still play Miss Honey till this day.
Wow.
And it's hilarious because I don't know I forget the guy's show that he's on, but he's on like a local cable talk show, which is, I used to watch this show.
Mm-hmm.
And he does Miss Honey with these 2 backup dancers. And again, they still play the song. And that's how he would greet you. If I saw him and we was together, he would say, Miss Honey, hi, Miss Honey.
And then it just became a song. So that was like,
Yes. Mm-hmm. But again, he had a big personality.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was captivating. He was engaging. Like when you saw him, like you would like stare at him and want to know who he was and where he came from.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of those kind of personalities. Trey had the same thing, but in a comical sense.
And Moi Renee kind of had like an allure, you would say.
Yeah, because he had that Caribbean flair,
Mm-hmm.
and then the accent, and then he was just over dramatized everything.
Mm-hmm.
He was a character, trust me.
Oh, man, I see on the flyer it says free buffet. Was the food good? Do you remember?
I never ate them. Oh no, because I told you after I stopped doing the bathrooms, worked in the coat check.
Mm-hmm.
And the coat check really worked out for me because while Renee was upstairs hosting, I was hosting downstairs because I had all my little outfits on. And the more outlandish my outfit would be, I would get bigger and better tips.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got to the point wherein, I started knowing people, by name, by face. And they would just give me their coats and I wouldn't give them a ticket. I would have my special rack of my own little clientele that I had. And used to come down the stairs. It was right on the side of the staircase. As soon as they would turn the corner and I would see them, I'd just go right to them and give them their coat. $10, $20, $30. And then they was trying to call me Little Renee. I'm like, no, 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 no,
Ooh.
no, no, Little Renee. No, no, this is Beau. This is not Little Renee.
This big Beau.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, I didn't want to break down that, you know, he's got his inspiration from some of the stuff that I was doing, but no, I was not having that.
As you should have, like, my own person.
Mm-hmm. And then they asked me that I want to be a waiter, but I was like, nah, no thanks.
Would have
Now
been
this is
every position in Midtown 43.
that wasn't working for me. Now this shot right here, this is I Love James Day, right?
Yeah, I wanted to know like what consisted of I Love James Day. But also before we get into that, I just wanted to say like I wanted to discuss this image in particular because the cassette, there is a generation of children who will never
No,
know what
yeah,
it looks like. They won't
yeah,
even have a device to play it. So, like, they don't know when you had to put the pencil in to
yeah,
find it. Like,
yeah.
it was a big thing. And at, in the beginning, it was expensive. It was very sought after. It was like a status symbol to have a Walkman. So, for
Mm-hmm.
it to be like obsolete today, like, this is really a treasure.
Okay, so this shot right here, you know, the classic cassette tape, and this is actually the tape that James gave me. I Love James Day. We never knew when James' birthday was, so
Oh.
randomly James would just select the day out of the year and say, it was not his birthday. It was I Love James Day.
Wow.
In honor of his birthday, but I don't think those particular days was his birthday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I put this together, you know how when you see antique or vintage pictures, it's a lot of clutter in it, and then it
Mm-hmm.
has that antique looking, dusty looking sheen to it.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I tried to do with this, but what took away from it, I think it really should have been in black and white, and it would have gave the effect that I was trying to achieve. Right.
I still feel like it is vintage. It's 96 vintage.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it feels like to me. Because it feels like when I was a little kid and you go in the craft box and you need to grab some stuff, and there it is, just laying there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I can't, on the other collage, I think it lists all the songs because he would pick out all the songs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every time he would do this, he would pick out his playlist. I can't even remember what was on here. I know En Vogue was on here, and he was a huge Aretha Franklin fan.
Mm.
And then with James, I could not remember his last name because I kept trying to track him down because I met James through Trey, right? And then after Trey passed, we kind of lost contact with each other. Was a few corresponding here and there. You know, he would send me little letters and little notes and cards and stuff.
So
He was
that's so
very regal.
thoughtful.
Say it again.
That's so thoughtful. I saw
Yeah,
the letters, like
yeah.
that's so thoughtful.
And then you know, I didn't use all the letters because as I was reading the letters, I think he really liked me more than I acknowledged because you know I read the letters early on when I received them, but they hit me a different way this time. I think he possibly could have liked me on an intimate level.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I got from the way he the words that he chose.
I got that too.
You know, He was such a sweetheart. He was very soft spoken. Somebody you would want to cuddle with.
Yeah, he looks like so warm and
He was.
Yeah. Oh.
He was. And then again, like I said, I was searching for him, but I had the wrong last name. And then when I realized, and this was a couple years, maybe like 4 or 5 years, and when I finally realized what his name was, I Googled it, and I found his obituary. Like, I was stunned. That was another moment. Like, I was not expecting it. It just totally took me off guard, took me by surprise. Because what I was looking for was like, oh, what happened? We lost contact. We got to catch up. Are you coming to New York? When can I come to DC? Like, we was going to resume. And it just didn't happen. And then once his niece got in contact with me on Facebook, and she just spoke very little. She just said he spoke highly of me. And I left her a couple of messages, and I was not able to get in contact with her. She never responded because, I wanted her to have a copy of the book, and, I wanted to know, the backstory of what happened with James.
Yeah. Oh, so you still don't know?
No.
Oh, man.
No. But he was a sweetheart. He was just so kind. He was just so loving. I remember one year he came over with this guy that was supposed to be his boyfriend. I did not like him for James. Because he came and it was the boyfriend, and was one of the boyfriends was a friend of his, right? So they got invited to this party, and he didn't take James to the party. I'm like, what is going on here?
That shit, right? Like,
yeah, and then the friend, I didn't like the friend. So, that was that. It was, it was nothing I could say. That's who he chose to be with. So whatever. I just didn't think I didn't think he was right for James. But he's somebody, I can hear his voice right now.
Really?
I truly miss him.
Oh, rest in peace, James. He seemed like such a cool person to know.
He was so laid back, so mild mannered. That's what we had in common. Because while the rest of them was jumping up and down and carrying on, we were very calm, very low key.
The stillness.
Yes, and then I remember they had a barbecue, and he was the first person that I seen that they had baked beans on the grill.
On the grill?
Yeah, they had a pot of baked beans on the grill. That's, he was from Florida, so, that's a southern thing.
I was going to say, ooh, that sounds country.
It was.
That is funny. What do we have next? I think there was one image that we didn't get to see. Oh, yes, this. I wanted to discuss this. So we'll close out with this clipping from the video.
Oh, I thought you had the other one, my favorite picture, but you don't have it.
Which one?
It's the one where Tracy is holding that button.
Oh, no, I didn't pick that one.
Oh, you didn't pick that one? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's one of my favorites. Well, this one right here.
Sorry.
Renee was on the cover of the Village Voice.
Oh, that's
and the article. The article was about the Caribbean community's response to the LGBT community, and they highlighted several characters in the community. Renee was one of them. I don't know I can't remember who the other. people that they featured in the article, but it just went on to talk about in depth about what it was like to be of Caribbean descent and be gay in America and be gay in Brooklyn, in that homophobic atmosphere amongst the Caribbean community. Now, I don't want to say they're all homophobes because I don't know, but it was a lot of homophobia at the time, and I don't know what's going on now because it was a couple underground clubs that I went to with him in Brooklyn, where if you went in the club, right? If I took you to the club, and if you just stood there silently for about 5 minutes, you wouldn't realize that you was in a gay club because most of the guys that were in there were like very masculine, very hardcore, very thuggish, as they were called, banshee boys. It just was really, really underground, and I can't even remember the name of it, and very secretive, very word of mouth because of the stigma of homosexuals in the Caribbean community. So I think I went there a few times with him. It was too butch for me. I needed to see a variety of different kind of gay men. And you know, in general, just being around people in general, I want to be around a mixture of different types of personalities, ethnicities, you know, male, female. It just can't be all one thing. That's gonna bore me.
Yeah, and I'm sure, like, as an artist, it's more inspiring to be around different types of people, different atmosphere, things like that.
Yes. So, and then when he was in Philly, what struck me, it was kind of weird with his family. A couple times I went around there, right? I don't know how long they'd been in Philly and how many years they had migrated from Jamaica, but I went around his family's house a couple times, and they would all watch TV together, and they would all laugh at the same spots at the same time.
Wow!
Like it was like watching a movie to watch them respond to American TV, right? And then his father, Renee, had this proud kind of sway the way he walked. It was almost a switch, right? His father walked the same way. But it was like this proud kind of saunter, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like the shoulders, and there was something going on with the waistline and the way he like moved his feet. I was like, oh, your father walked just like you.
Yes. And that's so interesting because, like, Jamaican culture is just very rhythmic. So it'll just come out in your walk. You're not even dancing, but it looks rhythmic.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. But he had a big family. He had maybe two or three sisters, two or three brothers. And it was the first time they moved, and I went to his mother's house with him. And it was the first time I seen somebody cook the whole entire fish with the head and everything on it. I was like, what in the hell was that?
It was probably Escovitch fish too, red snapper.
I was like, oh no, I don't want none of that.
Oh man.
But a very interesting family. They were very close knit. Now I don't know what his sexuality, how it played out within his family, right? I know a lot of people who left Philly and went to other cities it wasn't because they wanted to. It was, some of it was because they had to. They was trying to escape everything. And I think another thing for me that was unique is that I wasn't running from anything. If anything, I was running to something else. And I felt like artistically, I have run the gamut. You know, I did my punk scene, I did my drag scene, I did my band scene, I did a lot of different things. As far as myself uh, being part of Philly's gay community,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was anything left for me to do but just move on.
Right.
And then, you know, compared to New York, um, any city is small when you talk about New York, you know. And then it wasn't a lot of opportunities there. And if there was, at that point, I didn't know where they were. I just felt like I needed to go someplace else to get a fresh start. And that's what I did, you know.
And here you are today, like just living most people's wildest dreams.
Well, I'm living my best life. I'm having a ball. And then, you know, I thought that the early part of this journey in New York was the highlight. The highlight is right now. I'm in the moment right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's so many things that's happening for me right now that I hadn't even dreamed of, you know, and I'm just going with the flow. And this time I'm prepared, and, you know, I have a partner who supports what I do, who stays on top of what I do, who makes sure that, you know, I'm in my moment, that I respond, um, and that, you know, I also appreciate him and what we have together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because this, in a weird kind of way, I feel like this is my first relationship.
Like
Because
real solid.
yes, yeah, because I had none of this prior to this.
Aww.
Like, it was just, it didn't reach its full potential,
Mm-hmm.
right? And where we're at right now, it's still flourishing, it's still blossoming. It's just, it's getting bigger, it's getting greater
After
for the
all
both of
these
us.
years too.
Yeah, you know.
That's
So, and
amazing.
then, you know, when the very first day that I saw him, I knew this was it. I
Mm.
said, after this one, is going to be no more. And he was still doing journalism at the time, and he said to me, he said, "You from Philly, right?" So I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I'm going to Philly to, you know, interview Brandy and some other people. You want to go?" So I said, "Yeah." So I called my sister. I said, I think this is the one. I'm gonna stop by." So I stopped by. I said, this is the one right here. And then my other sister called. She was like, "I want to meet him too. I want to meet him too. I want to meet him too." So that was it.
Oh, so the family loves him too.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
amazing.
And then, you know, when we met, um, we just never grew apart. We
Mm-hmm.
just came closer, you know. And, you know, it's still going on.
Yeah. Sounds like soulmates to me.
Hmm. So, you know, again, I want to thank you for being interested in my project, in my stories, you know, and, you know, my triple T and all the other things, my butt, my buttons and everything. And today I was like, oh, I'm tired. I don't feel like doing this today, whatever. But it's something about your energy that I knew I was gonna pull through this. Like, if it hadn't been anybody, I was like, I don't feel like doing it today. Tell me, let's reschedule or something, you know, because we've been ripping and running. We've been all over the place.
Yeah.
But as soon as you popped up on the screen, I said, "That's my girl right there."
Yes, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm like, ooh, today was kind of long, but I was like, no, it's Beau. I love, love, love his work. And more than that, I love your energy and just how dedicated you are to your craft. Like, I love it.
And I was sorry that I didn't get a chance to catch you up. But did you came to the Schomburg?
I'm sorry.
Did you come to the Schomburg?
No, they said it was closed to the public and they only had it for streaming, so I only watched it.
Oh, I mean during the run because it was a lot was going on.
Oh, yeah, no. That time we were working on the VMAs, the Met
Hmm.
Gala, and
Hmm.
um
Oh, so you were
Fashion Week.
tied up. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was hoping it would be longer, even though it got extended, it was still short.
Short. Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if we can pique some more interest in it, um, that it will be longer and it will we will get new artifacts and new people will be involved because a lot of people came out that I hadn't seen in years
Mm.
that were very pleased with the project, and I saw a couple people while we were in the process, and I'm like, we're going to do something, blah 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 blah. But I don't think that they thought it was going to be to this magnitude
Mm-hmm.
because they was like really really pleased, and all the old photographs, the artifacts. They had the kiosks, and it was nice. It was up to par. It was just should have been longer, and it
Mm-hmm.
should have been bigger. And then
Yeah.
2 days before the opening for them to cancel the audience, I was like, well, damn, like we
Yes.
waited 20 years for this.
I had my outfit ready and everything. And I
So
was
yeah,
hoping to see you and Solio in person too,
mm-hmm.
finally.
Yeah,
It'll
we'll
happen.
get there. We'll
Mm-hmm.
get there.
Definitely. Definitely. But thank you again so much. I got all my external hard drive and I'm set up. So I'm gonna do my best to have this edited and shared hopefully by the end of the week. So it could be like the finisher for National Archives Month.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, because
Sounds good.
before I wanted to angle it around Black Fashion Museum and
Yeah, you tell me. Yeah,
yeah, but now it's like okay, just got to shift the focus. That's it.
there we go. There
Mm,
we go.
yes.
So again, it was great talking to you,
Great.
and at some point we got to meet.
Yes, definitely,
You
definitely.
know.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, so looking forward to it. And congratulations on your success of everything so far and all your future endeavors, which I know will be plentiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And and all the things that you do, be great.
I
Because you got a
shall.
long road ahead of you.
Hmm.
You still a little baby.
Yeah. All right, Beau. Thank you again. Have an amazing night.
Okay, so we're gonna sign off.
Yes, signing off.
All right. I'll
Bye.
talk to you soon. Bye.
All right, bye. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Archive Alive YouTube page. Thanks for watching.